Alright guys, sitting in the STI, and I want to do another video and just go over some of the the things I like so far and the first 300 miles, what I think of it, some pros, cons, and then what I think some improvements I could do to it, or that Subaru should do in the future. It's extremely hot, so I'm going to go ahead and start the car, get some AC going. Anyway, a lot of this is going to be compared to the last car that I had, the 2016 Mustang that you've all seen in other videos, and a lot of, so far I've been getting a lot of hate, that this is such a downgrade, or why did you do that, whatever, a lot of hate comments and stuff. I actually don't really care what anybody else says or what they think. The Mustang's a great car, but so are other things. So is a Camaro, so are some BMWs, Ferraris. I mean, everybody makes a good car, and they all have their pros and they also have their cons. And a little bit, before I get started, a little bit of the reason why I did this was because I have a family, and then that thing over there, that's the long road trip car, but just for driving around and stuff like that. And then some of the winters that we've had, I felt that this was better, and would suit my needs better on a day-to-day basis. I can put more things in it. I have 4 doors, so I can move more people in it comfortably. So far I've actually gotten better gas mileage than the Mustang, which whatever, you don't buy a Mustang or an STI for gas mileage, but it's a nice little trade-off so far. And I haven't even gotten the car hard. Pretty much been driving around in intelligent mode, and it's been good fun so far. But in my life right now, this car better suits me. It's an all-around, all-season performer, which is one of the big reasons that these things sell so much. The WRX would have been a good option too, and I liked it. I didn't think I would, but I test drove one and I liked it. But there's certain things that I like to have in a car that I was spoiled with the Mustang. I had a performance package, so I had the Brembo brakes, I had some of the go fast bits and all that stuff, and I wanted to try to keep those or find something similar, in other words, as best I could, and with the car that was going to replace the Mustang. And honestly, when I sold the Mustang, I didn't sell the Mustang for this. I had just sold it off, and I wanted to clean up a little bit of debt. I had fun with it. It was a great car. Got compliments all the time, daily. It was competition orange. It was great. Love that car. But even as great as that car was, I did feel that there was some room for improvement in it. The shift, or the steering wheel, I thought in the GT was a little bit numb. It was heavy, but you couldn't get a lot of feedback from what the front wheels were doing, or whatever. It still felt a little sloppy in the rear of the car when I was going around corners and stuff. So, and at the time I didn't really focus too much on that. It was certainly better than the 2012 Boss that I used to own, but I ended up selling the car. I sold all the aftermarket parts off of it, made some of my money back, and then I went 4 or 5 months excuse me, that with just driving the wife's car around, and it was fine. And then I went and test drove. I wanted something smaller car payment, but I wanted to still have fun, so I went and looked at the BRZ, like to talked about. It's a great car, but it's tiny. We put my son in the back, and when he was trying to get out of the thing, it pulled one of his shoes off in between the seats. It's just no room, and they're not meant to. It's not really. It's kind of a sidecar that people buy, to have fun with on a budget. I don't think it should be. I don't even think it's meant to be, like a dedicated, daily driver. People do it all the time, but You know, when you got 2 kids and, you know, family and everything, it's a little different. But you know, to each his own. People are gonna, you know, feel the way they want to feel and stuff like that. But you know, and I really like the Mustang. I like the community, you know, and the following and everything, and people involved with, you know, the drive Mustang and stuff. But there's always been that Ford and Chevy, you know, hatred or whatever. But I was never like that, you know, because in my opinion, a true car enthusiast appreciates all cars, not just one. You know, then they're kind of like they're, you know, labeled as a fanboy or something like that. I'm not like that. Man, it's so hot, my phone just quit. Anyway, but as far as this car, I think it's great. You know, my phone died. Let me make sure this thing's still recording. So we're upside down. We're still good. Sorry. Maybe I'll cut that out or just leave it. But whatever. So I appreciate all cars. You know, different, you know, car manufacturers, they all make a good, solid product these days, you know. It's not like it used to be, you know, 10, 15 years ago. But, so, first reactions to this car when I was test driving it was, you know, wow, it's stiff. And I like the fact that, you know, when you kind of get on it, you know, all 4 wheels are going, and it just really goes smoothly. You know, you have traction everywhere, not just in, you know, just in the rear or the front or whatever. And then I put it on some little twisties. Didn't really dog the car because it wasn't mine at the time. And I immediately noticed that the turn in and the way that it handled, you know, some of these more aggressive little turns and twisties was a lot better. It was more flat. You know, the car doesn't weigh as much. It was more nimble, I guess you should say. The steering feel felt better. It felt more communicative. You know, the visibility is absolutely great. Not that the Mustang was bad either, but this is better. You know, I like the fact that it's smaller. It's just more maneuverable. It was fun. Is the word? It's fun. Maybe not super fast, but fun. You know, but anyway, and then so I like the fact that, you know, I love the steering wheel. You know, the flat bottom and all that stuff. And then my wife's looking at me like, what am I doing? I'm making a video. Anyway, so I like the fact that you know, everything is all nicely perforated here. It's a really nice, you know, it's a really nice feel. You get a really nice purchase, you know, the 10 and 2, and it's thick. The steering wheel is really thick. It's thicker than the Mustang. You know, a lot of people were upgrading those steering wheels to the GT350, but I didn't like all the Alcantara on. I like the Alcantara, just not on a steering wheel. You know, to each his own. So this is thicker. You know, your notches here are a lot better and bigger. It's nice. I think it's maybe about the same size. Not sure. You know, and then you get your faux carbon fiber here, and I actually don't mind it. It's not that bad. You know, it's fake, but you know, we all know that it's fake. It's not really trying too hard. It's nice. You know, the interior is about the same. You know, it's got soft touch everywhere. You know, on the Mustang, I didn't even have the soft touch, you know, doors, the upper trim here. And this, it's soft. It does have its hard plastics and stuff, you know, like most cars do, but for the most part, it's pretty padded. The seats are Alcantara and leather, and we already know that because it's an STI, and they're nice. It's not, the seating position is, once you get it right, where you're comfortable with it, it's great. I have no complaints with it. The bolstering is plenty good. You know, I'm 5'11", I'm 175 pounds, and this is perfect. I do wish, well, I'll leave that for my improvements or cons or whatever, but well, I'll just go ahead and mix it up. So I do wish that the side bolstering down here was more pronounced. But you know, it's not too bad. I think what matters is, you know, your lumbar support on the sides. You have nice Alcantara everywhere here. You know, and then little touches like, you know, the little chrome on the switches are nice. You know, this lock is kind of from the 1990s. You know, that's just pretty outdated. You know, some of these little knobs or whatever, they're whatever. But you don't really touch, you know, stuff like that often. You set your mirrors and that's pretty much it. You touch it once, set it, forget about it. But it does have butt warmers. You know, it's got this nice little cover here, and it's kind of rubberized. It's nice. You know, all the SI drive and all that stuff, it's very clicky, and it doesn't feel loose or anything. The center armrest here's, I got the extended one, and it's a joke. All right, it comes out nice, and that's fine. It's a good height, but it's, you know, this is like got to be like 15 years old, you know, technology or whatever. It's not pretty to look at. It's hard, you know, but whatever. You can get different covers for that. It's not a big deal. Cup holders, nice and deep, and then it's got a shallower one here, which is a bit nice. You can utilize, you can put different size drinks in there. You get mat pockets, and they're plenty fine for what you need them for. Gas pedal down there. You know, all your controls and everything else like that, you know. And there's tons of YouTube clips and stuff like that talk about this kind of stuff, so I'm not going to continue to go over it, but it is what it is. These gauges up here are nice. Show you different things. I like the fact that it does have a boost gauge right there, which is really sweet. I think that the air vents are well placed. Yeah, there's lots of room in the back and everything. You know, this is kind of cheesy, but you know, it is what it is. This is the newer version of the rearview mirror. It's got the buttons down here. It's nice. It's not too big, not too small. It's just right. But you know, and there's some more complaints with the car though. You know, I feel like they should have done something with this area here. You know, in the Mustang, I think they had a speaker here, and it was, you know, it had some design. I think that they could have put a cubby here to hold things, or done something than just be a flat piece of plastic. And then this thing, everything's soft except for this little gauge hood cover. Really? Well, I mean, I know that car manufacturers like cut corners and stuff, but you always see this, and it's just a cheap piece of plastic. So anyway, you can get upgraded versions of these that are leather and a red stitch that'll match everything else, so that might be something I'll have to do. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. And then, you know, those are the reasons for why I did what I did, why I traded. I like the cubby storage better in this than the Mustang. I did like the fact that, you know, the Mustang, it feels like a cockpit. You know, all this area here was higher, and you felt like you were, you know, in a fighter jet or something. It was really nice. You know, this is lower, and it doesn't feel as cramped. But for this center here, I do. If it was higher, I wouldn't have minded at all. You know, if it was a little bit more raised. But it's not bad. You know, the shifter is what it is. It's better than the WRX. You know, it's still, you put it in gear and it's still got some slack, you know, and all this crap. So, but that could be fixed in the aftermarket, and I plan on doing that as well. This e-brake here, you know, it's really, it kind of feels kind of cheap and old. But this is not plastic. It is wrapped in some kind of, you know, faux leather or something like that. But, you know, the Mustang was obviously nicer, but I mean, it's an e-brake. It's not that big a deal. Let's see, what else can I go over? Not too much, I don't think. Some improvements, yeah. I think that Subaru needs to step it up with things like that and just let it come from the factory with something better. You know, it needs to be leather or something that doesn't look so cheesy. Other than that, I mean, that's really about it, I think. I like everything about the car. I haven't got on it really. You know, I got 323 miles on it, so I'm still breaking it in. I'm breaking it in like you're supposed to, so we don't have any issues. And if I do have issues, if I keep the motor stock and everything, it's going to be covered under the lifetime warranty that I got. So it'll be fine. I just don't get the mod, but you know, that's okay, because I can put money. I can use that money to do other things, like buy guns and do whatever. You know, my time in my life right now, I don't know. You know, there's other cars I thought about, like the C7 Corvette. Did think about it, but I didn't want. You know, it's a great car, phenomenal car. Only has 2 seats, obviously, and the payments are huge. It's a lot of money. So that you know, right now I'm about to be 31, and just right now I have more things to worry about than a you know, $1,000 a month car payment on a car that has 2 seats. So, and you know, I wouldn't dare risk it in the winter. That's just, it's a fun toy that is a luxury that I don't need right now. I could have probably bought one. I could have probably made it happen, but yep, that would have been not the best thing to do. So that's something you should buy if you're making a lot more income than I can. You can comfortably afford to throw $1,000 or whatever away a month. And honestly, I don't find myself speeding around as much as I used to when I was younger. I just like to drive and enjoy cars. Even with the Mustang, with all the stuff I did with it, I find that I found that it sounded good, it was fast, but I wasn't really using it for what I built it for, which is one of the reasons I also let it go. And this is really all 300 horsepower, 305 horsepower. It's plenty for what you need on the road to have fun with legally. I don't drag race or anything like that. So I mean, it's fine. I like it. Anyway, and I'll step outside the car and I'll show you another mod that I did today. So this will be mod number 3, I guess, because I did the wheel spacers and I painted the intercooler. So I'll show you the next thing that we did today. So I did a 35% window tint all around, and it really makes the car look a lot more aggressive. I think it looks great, with the color of the car, and then the the wheel spacers and everything. I think it really kind of completes the look, except for maybe a front lip at some point, but I think it looks outstanding. So until next time, this is it for now.